All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about today is not really a story, but there are some fights coming up in the YouTube boxing scene, and I definitely am going to be covering that because, as you guys know, I've already covered some of that here on this channel before with the Logan Paul and the KSI and the Jake Paul and the Gib. And then I talked about it a little bit with the rumors of Jake Paul, Ryan Garcia. Thankfully, that's not happening. Thankfully, that is not happening. Ryan Garcia has Luke Campbell. That is a tough fight, but it is a real fight. But instead, Jake Paul will be fighting Nate Robinson, the former slam dunk champion, the former jumping on Shaq's back in practice and clowning him. Point guard for the Bulls, Warriors, Celtics, take your pick. He was on a lot of teams. He was a great player in the NBA. Definitely outperformed what was expected of him at 5'10", 5'9", I'm not sure. But an uber athlete, obviously. If you're dunking at 5'9", you're a crazy athlete. But this fight was kind of put together as the undercard fight for Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. We should probably live stream this card. And we'll talk about that fight as we get closer. But YouTube boxing is what it is. And there has been some sparring footage dropped on Jake Paul or of Jake Paul. And we are going to take a look at it because I know you guys like to defend Jake Paul and how good he's becoming as a boxer. And I can't dispute the fact that for the time he has been training, he has become a fairly good amateur boxer. He's become a fairly good boxer for an amateur. Now, this doesn't mean that when I call him an amateur, I'm being disrespectful to him. He has a pro license. I'm not sure how he got it, but he has a pro license to fight another amateur boxer that somehow got a pro license. But we are kidding ourselves if we call this man a pro boxer. We just are. We're kidding ourselves if we continue to just act like he is a pro boxer because he got a license to do it and fought a guy that had never had a pro boxing match before in his life. So let's take a look at some of this sparring footage for Jake Paul. Let's take a look. I don't know who that is. Okay. Working on a nice little level change jab. Again, for an amateur boxer, Jake Paul does not have bad technique. Keeps that right hand up nice and high. Okay, they're showing him running on the side of the road with his buddy there. Very nice, very nice. Getting some road work in. And I've never said, by the way, that Jake Paul's not committed. I've never said that he's been not committed to what he's doing. Okay. Little 1, 2, 3. What I don't like is that Jake Paul still, and we've talked about this before. We've talked about Jake Paul's inability to brush up on the techniques that he is not great at. And again, in a fight with Nate Robinson, I don't know how much this is going to expose him because Nate Robinson, here's another thing, guys. Nate Robinson's never fought anybody professionally. Matter of fact, I don't know if he's ever been in a fight. I'm sure he has been. I'm sure he's been in his fair share of scraps. But we're talking about a boxing match. Has he ever put on the gloves and gotten into a ring and had a sanctioned bout, even amateur, anything? No is the answer. No. So no, of course that Jake Paul's not going to be exposed by a guy that's never done it in Nate Robinson. I know Nate is a great athlete. I'm sure he'll learn things and pick things up very quickly. But it's not going to it's not going to be him exposing Jake Paul's flaws in technique, at least not in my opinion. But let's take a look here. Jake Paul throwing a standard 1, 2, 3. Right? Left jab, right hand, hook. Now what I don't like, and this is just me being picky, because there's not really anything that again, this is that Nate Robinson's gonna find out, but we see the jab, the right hand. Now why do you see where the hook comes from here? You see the jab, boom, right hand. The hook comes from basically his hip. Right? He's throwing this from the hip, and that's fine. But if somebody with experience, and again, this is just against a heavy bag, and he's probably throwing some power shots. If anybody with experience slips that right hand and throws a right hand of their own, Jake Paul's eating the canvas. He is. He's eating the canvas. You get hit with a power straight right here, or even an overhand right, you're eating the canvas. We're talking about basic boxing fundamentals. You want to keep your hands up, obviously. When you're throwing combinations, power combinations, I understand it's a little tougher to do that, just to generate momentum to throw that hook. But where he's throwing it from is from the hip. When you want to keep that thing here and turn it over, right? turn it over that way. He's throwing this from the hip. Just a little thing that I'm being picky about, but neither here nor there. Level change, left, right, throws the hook from the hip. Kind of a slappy hook. Again, nothing that is too crazy. Parries, right hand uppercut. Boxing coach is telling him to really sink in on that uppercut. Throw it down. Parry. Is he trying to parry that, or is that just a light jab? Resetting. Some sort of slip right hand, even though he kind of didn't really slip it. I don't know what this is. He's been jabbed. Unless he's being taught how to throw this. He's already been jabbed. The jab, not even attempting to hit Jake Paul with it, so he doesn't have to attempt to slip it and then throw the bang right hand over the top. But, okay, we'll give it to him. We got the jab. Okay, boxing coach giving him something to look at. Jab, double jab. Double jab looks nice. I'll give him that. Again, the slip right hand. I think he's trying to throw a pull right hand here where he would be in his stance. Pull, bang. Problem is he's not getting that motion to pull back from. He's just kind of getting a feint at him, so he's drawn into a feint to pull and throw the right hand. Again, an experienced boxer would see that and say, okay, the guy's going to pull off my right hand. Would feint the right hand, and then off the pull, Jake comes back into range, either uppercut, left hook, right hook, whatever they really want, and he's eating canvas. Again, we see the I guess, again, I don't know, he's trying to roll this right hand over. And again, the hook comes from, you can't see it because I'm in the way, but this guy's face is in the way that the video is. But you see the drawing up of his left hand. It's coming from his hip. He throws the hook over the top. That hook is a rising kind of shovel hook that he's throwing. Anybody that's able to parry a shot at his or slip, that's a meatball right down the pipe to Jake Paul's face. Like I said, not a professional boxer, but as an amateur, he looks good. I can give credit where credit's due, man. The guy's been working. You can see that. And now he is, so what does this say? Hold on. Best part is there's no footage on how I even fight for KSI to watch. Okay, so he's got his brother Logan here. They're just doing a little bit of moving around here. Okay, he's Philly shelling. Jake Paul will not Philly shell. If he Philly shells in this fight, that's actually pretty funny. But against, again, an actual boxer, he would not Philly shell or he would be knocked out from a left hook. He has no experience running the Philly shell. As you can see, he's going to try it here, otherwise known as the Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll. He would be hit with a left hook very cleanly and quickly and put on the mat right there. Jake Paul taking the lightest body shots I've ever seen. That thing barely connects. Watch this next one. What are we doing? Who is this guy? Who is this fat riffraff in the background? I don't know who that is. Okay, here we go. So from there, apparently there was a guy that, again, I don't know too much about this guy, but I know that somebody, a former football player or a guy that's trying to be a football player in the NFL, had called out Jake for a spar, said he could kick Jake's ass and all this. Again, a guy that has, to his own admission, I think, never boxed or has never, done any kind of round-by-round boxing. He might have gotten in fights growing up or something, but this is a boxing match that he has committed himself to, a sparring match that has never done it. So again, Jake Paul beating up on guys that have never done it. Listen, the guy challenged him, so free game. But to take anything away from Jake's ability as a boxer here is going to be short-sighted at the least. But, hey, let's see. I heard he kicked this guy's ass. Let's see what he did. All right, Jake's walking into range. This guy, boom, my God. I mean, what are we doing? Jake literally walks into range with his hands straight down. I mean, look at this guy. This is intelligent boxing defense right here. And that nice, stiff, push away lead jab. Jake obviously slips it because it's absolutely nothing. This is not a technique. This is a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, and he's tired, just trying to somehow defend himself from what is an absolute bomb headed right for his face, and there it is. And the left hook again. We see the slappy left hook as Jake changes levels. Boom, big right hand, left hook from the hip. It lands. Uppercut, that was nice. And this guy's stumbling all over the place, turns his back. And another level change right hand. This is the same shot 2 times in a row. Jake changes levels. Right here, he should be met with an uppercut. Both hands are down. I mean, this is free game. This is an absolute knockout blow for anybody with any kind of experience. Jake walks in, hands down, and level changes, just gives you his forehead and says, please, please take it. Obviously, this guy doesn't know what's going on. Just trying to survive at this point. Jake level changes. Here comes the overhand right with both hands down. Bang. Right over the top. Off balance. Out of position. Again, if a guy slips this shot or rolls with it and counters, fires off with a big right hand, shovel hook, uppercut, anything, Jake's meeting the canvas. But again, this guy just doesn't know what he's doing. And Jake's all over him. Jumping in left hook. He's battering this fool, of course. And there he goes. Jake puts his weight on him and he falls. And just to add insult to injury, he steps over him. Because this guy was such a match for Jake Paul that he had to step over him to humiliate him more. Nice work, Jake. Phenomenal work, kid. Oh, yeah, there's the glove touch. Yep, it's all respect after he kicks your ass because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. Hey, swell job, Jake Paul. You're a mensch. Again, he's trained this now for I think 2 years, 3 years maybe even. And he keeps calling himself a professional, a prize fighter. But he seems to always fight guys that have no experience or no ability to gain that experience in the time that they will fight him. So again, if he wants to fight someone with experience, I am here. I am willing and able, Jake. I will come to the millionaire Lego mansion and teach the problem child a little lesson in what it means. Look at these guys wearing problem child t-shirts. Yes, working on their breathing in the heat. Very nice. Very, very nice work, guys. Good job, team. I will teach the problem child a little lesson in what it means to fight someone, not only your own size, but your own skill level and ability over whatever amount of time you want to spar. We're going to be covering him a lot as this fight comes closer. I know you guys aren't going to like my take on it, but listen, you don't have to. It's my opinion. If you have your own, comment below.